Esta saliva dulce.
Ese grupo de segundo, tercero, cuarto, quinto y sexto. 5 pilotos que están prácticamente acompañados por el equipo portugués.
Allí hay otro fuera.
Desde el momento, desde portugués, en la cuarta posición. Ahí está Jorge en segundo, que está intentando recortar diferencias con respecto al Pedro Mostado, que continúa destacando en la mesa de carrera. Por detrás de ese grupo de 6 pilotos, la octava cuarta plaza, la quinta cuarta Francisco Anet, quinta plaza para Abimael Melo. Atención porque empiezan ya a desatarse las hostilidades en esta segunda carrera. Se está acercando progresivamente Santiago, tercera posición, Rafael Villar.
¿Cómo sale?
En la carrera grande del fin de semana, Luis Bernal, que va a intentar marcharse, como digo ya, en la carrera calificativa de carrera. Vamos a ver si alguien es capaz de seguir.
The FIA European Truck Racing Cup.
With ZF, transmissions, steerings, axles, proven for heavy-duty applications.
And Hasseröder, the German premium beer.
behemoths of the racetrack are back. The FIA European Truck Racing Cup, second round of the series at Valencia in Spain. Well, welcome to our highlights here on Eurosport. The venue is the Circuito Ricardo Tormo, named after the 79 and 81 80cc motorcycle champion from Valencia. And it's just 10 kilometers outside of the beautiful Spanish coastal city. Well, Valencia, with its teeming modern port and its mix of ancient and modern architecture, a really vibrant heart. And the circuit of the community of Valencia opened at the end of the 99 season and hosting a motorcycle World Road Racing Grand Prix as its first meeting. Can't get better than that. Well, it's a little warm-up, a corrida for the drivers and a parade through the town. This is the village of just outside the circuit. And here is the circuit itself, the circuit of the community of Valencia. Brand new circuit, huge venue, and a real panorama view available from pretty much any seat in the sweeping concrete grandstands around half the track. You can see all the action. And you would have been surprised, perhaps, to have seen the Swiss Markus Bösinger run second quickest in qualifying. He says, I didn't really feel any pressure coming here, and I think that's quite important on this circuit, because if you just relax, you can be much smoother around the track, and that's how you're fast here. Well, another MAN driver, it was the German Gerd Körber, was just quicker than him, and he sets the pole position lap in the number 4 machine. Big crowd on hand for the start of the first qualifying race. And as the field heads down the tight first corner, we go on board with Steve Parish in the number 8 Mercedes, Markus Österreich and Antonio Albacete in the left and the right of the picture ahead of you, as Alain Ferte gets sideways in the blue and yellow machine. And Albacete came out of that one better. Markus Österreich on the dirt. Steve Parish trying to go past him. Meanwhile, Harry Lestaranen moved up there into second place. Race cam with Gerd Körber. Replay of the start. There is the number 9 machine of Markus Bösinger. Harry Lestaranen in the traditional black and yellow colours of the Caterpillar machine. Rubbing his way through into second place. Good move by Lestaranen, taking away the racing line. Bösinger had no answer for it. Well, Körber leading from Lestaranen. Still Markus Bösinger there in third place. Antonio Albacete holding on to fourth. Back down there was Ludovic Faure and Alain Ferte, the French pairing. So Albacete in red machine. Number 8 is Steve Parish, another new look to his Mercedes truck this year, that kind of dark grey look to it, as opposed to silver and black that we've seen before. Well, this is a long, difficult final corner, which tightens up on itself, a second braking area there before they come onto the long front stretch, over 1 kilometre of the start-finish line. And it's very, very long indeed, especially because these trucks, of course, with their speed limiters. Number 6 is the Frenchman Ludovic Faure there in 8th place. Let's ride with him. Alain Ferte ahead, and Ludovic Faure getting a great run through the final turn. Drives around the outside of his countryman. Ahead of him, the white truck is Markus Österreich in his Mercedes. And Steve Parish ahead of him. The two Frenchmen side by side, and again, as we're on board with Ludovic Faure, Alain Ferte comes back in front of him. Ferte, championship leader after race 1. Well, Gerd Körber starting to show signs of cracks in his armour as he tries to defend the lead from Harry Lestaranen, but the German driver in the number 4 MAN has clearly got a braking problem. Race cam as we look back into the final corner. And Lestaren, with better brakes, manages to anchor up down the inside and takes the race lead. Gert Kober in a straight line has no problems. Let's pick up race card Lestaren and see how it works as they get to the end of the stretch. Into the first left-hander and then through the corners around. Tight and twisty infield. Harry Lestaren, the race leader. Marcus Berziger now down inside Gert Kober at the first time of asking. Oh, and he spins it on collision. Marcus Berziger hit by Antonio Albacete. Berziger, with his foot buried in the throttle, takes them both off the circuit. Replay on board with Steve Parish. Contact between Berziger on the inside and Kober, and then slamming into the Frenchman, into the Spaniard rather, Antonio Albacete, the number 5 machine, driving them both off the circuit. Well, Parish slipped past that damage, but the Cepsa team very disappointed with that one, I'm sure. They could see it quite clearly there. Albacete waving to the fans. They were hoping for something from the Spaniard here. Well, it's Lestaren who leads. Gert Kober still holding on to second place, but sidestepping all the debris, Steve Parish up to third. Well, Lestaren driving away in the closing stages. Kober holding up everybody else. Lestaren winning, the Finnish team delighted. The Caterpillar takes victory in the first race in Valencia. Gert Kober second, Steve Parish in third, ahead of his teammate Marcus Österreich. But let's hear now from Gert Kober how it sounded. Said, of course, I had a lot of problems with the brakes. He said, I saw Marcus coming in. He came down the inside and I tried to close the door a little. But he didn't brake and he was just on the gas, and that's why he spun it. He said, well, that's what happened with us, but I didn't realize what had happened with him and Albacete until afterwards. Well, Antonio Albacete's team hard at work trying to repair the Cepsa machine, and the MAN crew doing some severe rebuilding action. Checking, of course, the underpinnings, all important. Antonio says, normally in 99% of the cases I should get by a spinner without any problem on the inside, but Berziger spun, and then, as he shows with his hands, he came back round towards me. I was coming on the inside and I couldn't avoid him. So he says, now we've got to try and repair the truck, repair the bodywork. A lot of work to do. We'll see how they fare in just a moment after this. We'll be back with more action from Valencia in a moment. Stay with us.
Horsepower, 100 miles per hour, tires, always performing at the limit. Win it for you? Standard tires, tested for toughness. Continental, tires for real pros.
Das Premium-Pilsener mit dem Auerhahn. Hasseröder, der harzhaft frische Biergenuss.
It's a remake of the 1998 World Cup semi-final, France v Croatia. Having failed to qualify for Euro 2000, the Croatians will have plenty to prove. while for the French, time is running out before this summer's football feast, and the finer points of their squad still need polishing. France beat Croatia, Sunday 2100 CET, live on Eurosport.
With Fujifilm.
And Philips, official sponsor of Euro 2000. Eurosport's MotoGP coverage is simply exceptional. From Mugello, the Italian Grand Prix. Qualifying Friday and Saturday from 12:30 live, then the races on Sunday from 10 to 1500 live, and in the evening we're back on track for the highlights at 1930 CET on Eurosport. With
Motorex, oil of Switzerland.
Certina, Swiss watches since 1888.
And Suzuki, ride the winds of change.
Back to the FIA European Truck Racing Cup with Hasseröder, a German premium beer.
Welcome back to Valencia, round 2 of the European Truck Racing Cup. And looking now at Marcus Berziger, the man who's on pole position for the second qualification race. Well, Berziger from pole position, blowing it I'm afraid, had a bad start, hit by Marcus Österreich, the number 7 machine. Steve Parrish also there out on the dirt, but not as far as the Swiss, and Berziger dropping right back down the field. Harry Lestarainen winning once more, this time from Antonio Albacete, the Spaniard in the number 5 MAN. Lestarainen taking the checkered for the 3rd time in 3 starts in Valencia in his Caterpillar, and this time not removed from the equation by overspeeding his truck. So the grid for the final race then. Lestarainen, the Finn, on pole position from Antonio Albacete, the Spaniard. He is in 2nd position. Race cam with Albacete, and there is the pole position man. A great start by the Spaniard, and the Valencian crowd certainly looking for something impressive from him here. Look at them all in echelon formation there, fanning out across the track. Parrish once more going to the outside line. There into 3rd place goes the number 7 of Marcus Österreich, ahead of Gert Körber. Steve Parrish also being passed there, and that was by Ludovic Four. Race cam with Harry Lestarainen. Ludovic Four, the number 6 machine on the inside. Oh, didn't really have enough room to get through there, and he's dropped back a fraction off the tail of Marcus Österreich, but Österreich also being dropped by Lestarainen. Albacete, the race leader, oh, messes up the final corner, runs wide onto the dirt, keeps his foot buried. Harry Lestarainen charging down the inside, looking to try and make a move at the end of the straight, but despite that little mistake, Albacete kept it buried and has plenty of power to pour on down the straight. Further back, race cam with Steve Parrish. Gert Körber right ahead of him, and there is your man Parrish working hard at the wheel. Eyes wide open, checks the mirrors, and the little paddles you could see there for the gears on the steering wheel of his high-tech Mercedes. Gert Körber runs wide and crashes into the tyre barriers on the outside. Steve Parrish goes past us as we ride on board. So Parrish pulls ahead. Parrish moves up into 5th place. Well, there is it from the outside. Gert Körber running wide and Parrish pulling in front of him. Well, the 3 Mercedes trucks going better than they did at Dijon. Marcus Österreich in 3rd place, Ludovic Four in 4th place, Steve Parrish in 5th place. But still, it's not them that are doing the leading. Riding with Ludovic Four, the Frenchman, in the number 6 machine. And he's testing the gravel and the loose bits on the side of the circuit there. Here's a newcomer to the series, Czech driver Stan Matyjowski in his Tatra. And good to see another new look to the championship in terms of machinery, and a new face in the paddock as well. Number 11 machine, not really on the pace of the race front runners though. He's down in 9th place. Antonio Albacete still leads in the 5 from Harry Lestarainen in the black and yellow number 3 machine. MAN from Caterpillar. At the moment, Mercedes purely playing a supporting part, and it's a nail-biting wait for the Cepsa team. On board with Antonio Albacete, responding well to the pressure, and the Spaniard with a chance here to win the final race in front of a Spanish crowd. He was second in the qualifying race on Sunday, and this is the cup race. Well, Harry Lestaranen keeping him nice and honest, piling on the pressure all the way through. But apart from that one little mistake running out of the final corner earlier on in the race, Antonio Albacete didn't put a foot wrong. A great start, heading him off to a great finish. The team delighted as he wins the final race. And congratulations all round. Harry Lestaranen in second place, Marcus Österreich in third. The Caterpillar team happy, but the Cepsa team even more happy. And let's hear now from Antonio Albacete. He says, well, after all the problems we had yesterday with a crash in the first race, he said, I have to say this has turned into a fantastic weekend. Today I was able to beat Harry, and away from the start I managed to get ahead and stay ahead of him. So in the middle of the race he was pretty hot, came up very close behind me and really put on a lot of pressure, and I had a bit of pressure myself because the brakes were starting to go away, but I managed to get that back under control, and I'm delighted to have won the race. So there's the result then from the second cup race in Valencia. Albacete from Lestaranen and Österreich, Ludovic for the Frenchman in fourth, ahead of teammate Steve Parish, Gert Kerber in sixth. Well, after two races in the European Truck Racing Cup, it's Lestaranen who vaults to joint leader with Gert Kerber. Marcus Österreich moves up to third as Alain Ferté, who came here with a points lead, drops down to fourth place. Well, that's it. There was the action from Valencia. Round 3 is at Misano in Italy. You'll be able to see that and the rest of the season, of course, on Eurosport. Join us then. Till then, bye-bye.
The FIA European Truck Racing Cup.
With ZF, transmissions, steerings, axles, proven for heavy-duty applications.
And Hasseröder, the German premium beer.